Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and I'm here to review G20. And this is a new espionage geopolitical action thriller coming to you from director Patricia Riggin. And this screenplay is from a whole crew of 4 people putting this together. And this focuses on the story of President Sutton, who is played by Viola Davis, who is this war hero who there's like this iconic shot of her on Time magazine that sparked her popularity from the war and really led her up to this point and put her on this track. And she's struggling with, she has her 2 kids, her teenage daughter is a handful and causing people to question her abilities as president. And Marseille Martin plays the daughter, they have a son, and then Anthony Anderson plays her husband. You have all these elements, but then they go off to a G20 summit where they're trying to convince the world to buy into this currency. But Anthony Starr's character, Rutledge, comes in and causes complete mayhem at the summit in South Africa, and the president must tap into her military skills to try to protect her family. And this film has certain things that really stand out, really working for it. I think Viola Davis is fantastic. She brings a weight and authenticity to this film that makes you want to take this seriously, because the film is trying to take it seriously. This isn't like a silly, big, bonkers action flick. This is a film that is trying to tackle some serious issues, and I think what Viola Davis is able to do, she brings this emotion, she brings this level of care to the film. I like Anthony Anderson as her husband, even if he doesn't get as much to do. I do like Ramon Rodriguez, who plays her Secret Service agent pal, who's right there with her, and I love their dynamic. Anthony Starr, I think, is really good as the antagonist. He has this intensity, but there's also a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of characters. Obviously, there's all these agents and politicians and world leaders all cramming into this film. And some of these characters feel very much like I can see their motivations coming a mile away. They're pretty one-dimensional. You know how they fit into this story. But there's a few of those characters like Davis's character, Rodriguez, and Starr's character that do bring some depth to this. I think some of it is just really plainly played out, especially with like the family dynamics. And also one of the more frustrating things is pretty obvious twists in terms of like who was in on this. Some pretty just, elements to this film that you're supposed to feel like there's weight to this and there's stakes, and then the film kind of like goes back on it pretty easily in multiple moments, and you're just like, where was this supposed to be in terms of like us really feeling like there's a real sense of danger? So it feels a little airy because it doesn't have that weight to it or those stakes, because this is pretty big stuff. And the action, I think, is mostly serviceable, except there's a sequence where they're like all the lights are out and you can barely tell what the heck is going on. So that's not particularly great. But I do feel like this has a really interesting concept. And it just, execution-wise, it's clunky. It's not particularly well put together. It just, in general, I think some of these strong performances and those strong characters attached, and this overall story and some rock-solid action, I think makes this really does feel like a straight-to-Amazon Prime action flick, and like so many others that just feel perfectly adequate and suitable to consume, but not something that's really going to hit in a really impactful way that's going to last with you, for sure. But those are my thoughts on G20. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.